In ancient times, in the land of Argos, there ruled a king named Acrisius. He was terrified by a prophecy that foretold his grandson would kill him. Unwilling to accept his fate, Acrisius decided to rid himself of his daughter, Danae, and her newborn son, Perseus. He placed them in a wooden chest and cast it into the sea. The chest drifted for days and nights on the waves until it finally washed ashore on the island of Seriphos. A fisherman named Dictys found the chest and rescued Danae and Perseus. He took them to his home and cared for them. Perseus grew up there, becoming a strong and courageous young man. Years later, Polydectes, the king of Seriphos and Dictys' brother, fell in love with Danae. However, Perseus, now a powerful young man, protected his mother and did not allow Polydectes to approach her. Polydectes, furious at this, devised a plan to rid himself of Perseus. He held a grand feast and asked all his guests to bring him gifts. Perseus, who was poor, could not offer a gift. Polydectes seized the opportunity and said, "Perseus, you promised to bring me anything I desire. Now I ask you to bring me the head of Medusa." Medusa was one of the 3 Gorgons. The Gorgons were terrifying creatures with snakes for hair, and anyone who looked into their eyes would turn to stone. Medusa was the only mortal among them, but killing her seemed nearly impossible. Perseus, knowing this mission was deadly, felt despair, yet he could not refuse Polydectes' challenge. The gods, watching from above, decided to help Perseus. Hermes, the messenger god, gave him a diamond-hard sword that could cut through anything. Athena, the goddess of wisdom and war, gifted him a polished shield that acted like a mirror. Hades, the god of the underworld, provided him with a helm of invisibility to hide from his enemies, and the Phot Naiads, the water nymphs, gave him winged sandals to fly. With these tools, Perseus prepared for his journey to the land of the Gorgons. Perseus flew to the land of the Gorgons using his winged sandals. It was a dark and terrifying place where no human dared to tread. Carefully, Perseus approached the Gorgon's lair. Using Athena's polished shield, he saw Medusa's reflection to avoid looking directly into her eyes. Medusa was asleep, but her snake-like hair still writhed slowly. Perseus took a deep breath, and with Hermes' sword, severed Medusa's head from her body. From Medusa's blood sprang up Pegasus, the winged horse, and Alquat, Chrysaor, a giant with a golden sword. Medusa's 2 sisters, Sthenoa and Uriel, awoke and chased after Perseus. But Perseus, using Hades' helm of invisibility, escaped their grasp. With Medusa's head safely in his magical pouch, he flew into the sky. On his way back, Perseus arrived in the land of Saksh, Ethiopia. There he found a princess named Andromeda, chained to a rock, destined to be sacrificed to a sea monster. Andromeda's mother, Cassiopeia, had boasted that she was more beautiful than the Nereids, the sea nymphs, angering Poseidon, the god of the sea. Perseus, unable to ignore Andromeda's plight, fought the sea monster and defeated it. He freed Andromeda and married her. Then, with Andromeda by his side, he returned to Seriphos. In Seriphos, Perseus discovered that Polydectes had been mistreating his mother. He confronted the king and revealed Medusa's head, turning Polydectes to stone. Perseus then appointed Dictys as the new king of Seriphos, and returned to Argos with Danae and Andromeda. In Argos, the prophecy about Acrisius's death came true. Perseus accidentally killed his grandfather during a discus throwing competition. After this, Perseus gave the throne of Argos to Megapenthes, his cousin, and went to the city of Koityrans, where he ruled as king. Perseus became one of the greatest heroes of Greek mythology. His story of bravery, sacrifice, and triumph over evil remains immortalized in history.